guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a cozy sit down chit chat video. It might be a long one, so I'm just warning you, go get some popcorn, a snack, a little drink, some coffee, whatever you want, and let's get cozy together. I don't know about you guys, but where I am right now, it's raining, it's gloomy, it's freezing cold outside, so I thought what better day than today to film a sit down chit chat video with you guys. So today's video topic is going to be the 10 things that I'm going to be doing this year, 2023, to get into my best shape that I've ever been in my life. Some of these things I've already started implementing before the new year, and these aren't like resolution type things. I'm trying to kind of take the path of slow and steady and implementing smaller, more sustainable changes instead of doing anything super drastic or crash dieting or going absolutely ham in the gym and then feeling burnt out within a month, because we don't want that. We are not doing that. We're not yo-yoing. We're not, over exercising, under eating, and treating our bodies poorly in 2023. We're never doing that again. So with that being said, the first thing I'm going to be doing is ditching the all or nothing mentality and taking a more moderate approach. I have never been one for a moderate approach. I've always been a balls to the wall, I'm either doing it or I'm not kind of person, and it has taken me so long to unlearn that mentality. And I am not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not perfect. I sometimes still slip up and I get like that, and I'm like, well, you know what, we're going ham tonight, this is what we're doing, it's just who I am. It's in my nature. I'm a very extreme person, but you don't have to be that way. Just because you've always been that way doesn't mean we can't learn new habits and find different ways that we can implement more moderation into our lives. And honestly, I think it really takes being self-aware, growing up, healing, and learning the patterns and mistakes that you make in the past in order to not do them anymore. Or try your best at least. So I've been challenging myself over, I would say, the last couple years, where let's say, I had like a really big, sugary, maybe unhealthy breakfast. I will then go ahead and maybe choose something healthy for lunch if that's what I'm craving. And 9 times out of 10, I want something fresh after I've had like, a stack like this of sugary pancakes. Or let's say I went out the night before. I will still make sure I get in my daily movement the next day and at least even just go for a 10-minute walk. And it kind of builds that habit of consistency while also not being so hard on yourself, because we're human. You're gonna do things that aren't necessarily quote unquote perfect or healthy sometimes, and that is totally fine. It's about what you do most of the time and not what you do some of the time that is really gonna count. One major thing that I've been doing every single day that has helped me kind of ditch this all or nothing mentality is I have a daily treat, some kind of dessert, or if it's a Starbucks drink that I really want, or a cocktail or something, even if it's something so small like a Hershey's Kiss. I will have that every day just to show myself like moderation, balance. You can have this every single day. You can eat chocolate every single day. And I think from people who come from a binge restrict mentality, like, it is so important to show your brain, look what we're having. Or like, let's say you're having a really healthy like egg white omelet or something. You can have that cinnamon raisin bagel with cream cheese and strawberry jam on top right on the side of it. You can have both. It's more about what you're adding to your life as opposed to what you're taking away. And that's what's going to enforce these healthy, balanced habits. Next, we have prioritizing sleep. I've been doing this for a long time just because I've found that if I don't get 8 to 10 hours of sleep, I am donezo. Like, I am just a shell of a human. I don't feel as good. I know people who, my fiance, for example, can function off like 5 to 7 hours of sleep, and he doesn't even drink caffeine. I'm like, you're something else. Like, I just could never. But also women's and men's hormones are different. But all of that aside, I have just found that working with my own natural sleep cycle is also what's going to be best. As much as I wish I could be a 4 or 5 a.m. type of girly, I just don't think that's in the cards for me, at least for right now. But I found that working with my own body's natural sleep cycle, which is probably falling asleep around 10-ish and waking up around 7, is when I personally feel my best and I feel the most productive, and I just feel like I have a really good healthy sleep schedule when I'm doing that and working with my body. Working with your body doesn't just mean listening to your body when you're hungry or when you're full or when you're tired or whatever, and you don't feel like working out. It's also about being honest with yourself and being like, well, this is what's working for me in terms of my sleep as well. And if you're forcing yourself to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but you can't even fall asleep until 11:30, like, and you feel like shit the whole day, I mean, that's just not it. That's just not it. And sleep is so, so important, arguably more important than diet and exercise. Next is not skipping meals, actually eating your full balanced meals every single day. And it just trains your body, one, to know that food is always coming. There's no deprivation. We're not restricting in any way. We are fueling our bodies. Fueling your body is so, so important, especially if you don't want to tank your metabolism. Trust me, I've been through this. I have dieted before where I have tanked my metabolism, and then it takes so long to build it up, and you go through these periods of feeling uncomfortable, and you know, your body is just fluctuating, and it just sucks. It sucks. Like, I would always see these people who were so strong and so healthy, and they would eat these full, big, hearty plates of food. And, you know, obviously don't compare yourself to somebody else because everybody's caloric needs are going to be different. But you do not want to be that person that's like sitting there with like 100-calorie pack of like chips or something, while the person next to you is eating a big, nutritious bowl filled with protein, fats, and carbs, and, you know, really fueling their body in the best way possible. Like, you want to be that person too. So it's important to not tank your metabolism. And if that means, like for me, it meant to stop intermittent fasting and to actually eat breakfast. And you know, some days I listen to my body. Some days I eat later than others. But like, I was ruining my metabolism, ruining my hormones. Like, I just realized I needed to do better for my own body. And I was working out, and I have been working out, doing a strength training routine, basically like 5 times a week. And I felt like, what am I even doing this for if I'm not even like eating enough protein or enough healthy fats and carbs to be building muscle? Like, I wasn't seeing any results, because how is my body going to be able to build muscle and repair itself and recover when I wasn't fueling it with anything? My old trainer used to tell me, when you're sore, it means your body needs protein and it needs water. I'm sure it needs a bunch of other things too, but like, those are just things that I always remember. Don't quote me on this. Obviously it's somebody else's words, but like, I would always remember that and be like, okay, like, you know, I need to be hydrating more. I need to be eating more. Like, it's so, so important. And we are not skipping meals in 2023. We're having balanced meals, balanced snacks. We are keeping our blood sugar stable. We are just doing all of the things to better our bodies and our relationships with food. Because if you think about it, it is just so unsustainable. Sure, you can eat less and move more, and you'll just keep having to gradually eat less and less and less and less. And yeah, you might achieve your body goals, quote unquote, but what happens when you have to maintain that for the rest of your life? Like, are you going to be able to maintain that? If it's a quick fix and you do something drastic in order to reach a certain goal, can you maintain that goal forever? No. You know, like, what if you start eating more? Eventually you're gonna have to, and then what's gonna happen? You're gonna gain the weight back. Trust me, case in point, I've done this a million times. Like, take it from my book, we're not doing that. Next up, we are making a workout routine, and we are sticking with it. Now, this can mean whatever you want it to mean. It doesn't have to be a strength training routine. I personally have been challenging myself to switch up my workout routine because I just wasn't seeing the results that I really wanted. I kind of fell back into a routine where I was really focusing more on cardio, and I got this whole like 10,000 steps thing stuck in my head where I would never strength train at all, and I would only be focused on cardio because I like had to get my steps in, and it became like, it took away the healthy aspect of getting your steps in, and I wasn't seeing results from it. Like, bottom line, I didn't feel good. I felt, and I hate saying this, but skinny fat or like fluffy. Like, I just didn't feel strong. And I wasn't motivated to go to the gym anymore. I found it boring. So I do still love going on walks, and there are days like today, for example, where my body's feeling a little bit more tired, and I still wanted to get some movement in. I didn't want to do anything crazy, so I put on a YouTube video and I did a 30-minute, no incline, just simple walk. And that felt great. And tonight I'll probably go on another walk with my dog, obviously so he can use the bathroom, and that feels good too, being in fresh air. But like, I was doing that every day, and I'm like, well, why am I not seeing results? Well, because in order for something to change, something has to change. So I was just doing the same thing over and over again, wondering why I wasn't seeing results, and that's exactly why. So I decided to incorporate some more strength training, kind of slower, nothing too crazy, not like HIIT or anything like that. I will do like a few more intense workouts. Like every month I'll do like one a week, I would say. I'll do like one spin class, which is not intense strength training. It's just like higher cardio. And then I'll also do, like, I have a workout with my trainer that I like to do, and sometimes we incorporate boxing, sometimes we incorporate more like circuit training when it comes to strength training. So it's more like fast paced, and I really like that, but I wouldn't do that every day because I found that that's just a little too much for my body. So incorporating new styles of workouts, challenging myself, showing up and doing something that scares me, like going to a workout class by myself. I went to Solid Core after not having done Pilates in months, and it whooped my ass, and I had to do all the modifications. But guess what? I made it through the whole class. I was already sore from the day before. I knew it was a bad idea, but it wasn't. I still felt so good after I completed the class, and I felt so accomplished, not because, I went to the class, but because, like, I got out of my comfort zone. And I actually forced myself to do something that I was so nervous to do on my own. Like, I can be a very codependent person, even though it's so weird because I spend so much time alone. Just making a workout routine that's fun, that excites you, but also something that you want to stick to and not just want to quit after the first week. Number 5 is having protein at every meal and snack. This is something I struggle with. I am very much like a carb lover, which is totally fine. I also love a good healthy fat, love a good avocado, blah, blah, blah. Protein is where I'm almost always lacking. Like, I just simply don't need enough protein. And it's the most satiating macronutrient. It's obviously essential for muscle building. It's just really great for you. And I need to be making it a priority. Obviously, I'm not going to be, super crazy if I have a bagel and cream cheese and there's like no protein, like whatever. It's life, you know what I mean? But I'm going to try my best to be like, okay, well, I'm having a bagel with cream cheese. Let me have some eggs on the side of that, or a protein shake on the side of that, just to make sure that I'm incorporating that into my routine and just being mindful of it. Even if I don't do it every single time I eat, obviously that's okay, but being more mindful of it and bringing it to the forefront of my routine is something that I'm really going to try to be working on. Number 6 is following the 80-20 rule. This kind of goes hand in hand with the all or nothing mentality, but we want to eat 80% whole, natural, unprocessed, healthy foods, but 20% fun stuff. And I don't mean 80-20, like 80% of your week has to be absolutely perfect and then the weekends can be crappy. I mean like 80-20 every single day. That goes, again, back into you can have treats every single day. Even if you ate all healthy meals all throughout the day and then you want to have ice cream at the end of the day, that does not ruin your day. That doesn't ruin your day. It's actually the perfect, pun intended, cherry on top of a perfect day. That is what's going to make your perfect day because it's good for the soul. So we're doing things that are good for our physical health, our mental clarity as well, our physical goals. Obviously, it's so fine to have physical goals. We're human, like we live in an aesthetically driven society, like it's life. But also we want to do things that are good for the soul. And in order for a lifestyle to be sustainable, you want to be doing things that you love and incorporating things that you love every single day. For example, me, I love chocolate. I love Starbucks. I can eat 100% perfectly healthy meals, in my opinion. Like healthy enough. Healthy's relative, but healthy for me. 3 healthy, high protein, low sugar, really good meals. But what I will have is my sugar cookie almond milk latte, and I will have a Reese's peanut butter cup and a few Hershey Kisses at the end of the night. I will. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna have them. And guess what? If that, is the reason why my results come a little bit slower than somebody else's, then so be it, because I'm gonna keep those results and I'm gonna have them for the rest of my life because slow and steady wins the darn race, and I will do that Starbucks cup in hand. Number 7, we have limiting alcohol. Now, this is one that you guys know I have struggled with because I am very much a social drinker, and I'm not somebody that loves drinking by myself, really. I almost literally never do that. For the most part, I'm a social drinker. And so when I was in LA, it was very hard for me to say no to things because that also meant a lot of times saying no to social occasions. And although you very much can go out and not do what everybody else was doing, I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm just being a human, and I'm letting you know that that wasn't really the case for me. Like, I was just somebody that would get caught up, lost in the sauce, like hanging with friends, having a grand old time. No regrets whatsoever, but I do know that it is objectively unhealthy. Like, drinking and going out and staying up late and ruining your sleep schedule is not great. Will I never do it again? No. Am I going to do it? Yes. But we're talking moderation here. There is a lot less to do now in a smaller town in Massachusetts than when I was in LA. So like it's just going to come naturally. But there are going to be times when I'm going to want to indulge, I'm going to want to have a cocktail or two, but we just need to keep it to a few times. And I've realized that I would rather have a few really fun times where I let myself let loose and, you know, have the drinks with my friends and just like have a good time, but keep those times to a minimum and like not just do it as often, then just be like, okay, well, I'm never gonna go out anymore. I'm never gonna have more than one drink. Like, I just feel like that's not me. So I'd rather just, you know, limit the amount of times, but this is going to be so personal to everybody. Some people might want to cut out alcohol altogether, and more power to you. I respect people who are sober. My fiance is sober. I respect people who are sober so much, and who knows, maybe one day that'll be me too. But for now, we're just going to limit the times. I am currently doing dry January just for a little reset, because like with everything that was going on with like my move and my engagement and leaving LA, like the holiday season, like I was just drinking a lot more than usual, and I think for like my physical health, like my body does need a little bit of like a cleanse from that. But aside from that, I will be indulging in moderation and being a lot more mindful about it. Next is getting in our steps. Now this is a little bit contradictory to what I was saying before, but I think it's just important to understand that you do not need to be on the elliptical or doing hours of cardio or anything like you're doing crazy HIIT workouts in order to elicit change in your body. Like you can be doing lower impact strength training workouts and walking and still make progress. Yes, it might be a little bit of slower progress. It might take more time, but it's going to be so much easier on your body and it's going to be so much more maintainable and, in my opinion, enjoyable. So don't discredit walking. Yes, I'll admit, like what I said before, I was getting really bored of walking and I was only doing that. Like I was just walking, basically. I was barely doing any other form of exercise. So for me, my challenge was to try other workouts and see how I liked them and see if that would be better for me, as well as still incorporating walking, which I know is so good for my mental and obviously cardiovascular health. This is just for people who maybe haven't dabbled in walking as much. Like it is still so good for you, but we're not being sticklers about the number. We're trying to let go of the number. Like I used to be so set on 10,000 steps. Like it was like this weird arbitrary number in my head that I was like, somebody said 10,000, so I have to hit 10,000. If I didn't hit 10,000, it was almost like I had failed. Like I could have had 9,999, but I was like, well, it's not 10. And I'm just like doing so well with kind of letting go of that, because some days I might have 15,000 and some days I might have 5,000, and both are good. Both are fine. It will be okay. Nothing's going to happen to you if you don't hit 10,000 steps every day. So yes, getting your steps in, getting outside, that is so important. And it's such a great way to exercise, and it makes little mundane activities like even cleaning the house feel like you're moving and you're exercising. But also don't get too obsessive. Next, we have cooking at home more. This is something I've actually recently been loving. I've been saving so many recipes on Pinterest, on Instagram, on TikTok, and like really getting into making more things at home. So if you guys want like a updated what I eat in a day or like a few of my favorite recipes, I'd be happy to share. I'm honestly not gonna say I'm like a chef here because I am far from it. All my meals are very simple. Although I love to cook, I'm still lazy. So like I'll make very easy, very like basic meals, but to me they still taste good, and I'm just happy that I can incorporate the things that I love to eat when I go out to eat into my daily routine and make them at home and know what I'm putting in them and feel really good afterwards and feel like I'm fueling and nourishing my body while also incorporating things that I really love to eat and that taste super yummy. So that's been super fun, like figuring out how I can make like the best, most delicious brownies that, you know, might still have protein in them or something, for example. And lastly, tip number 10 would be to show up as her. I know this kind of sounds like it makes no sense, but basically show up as the person, the woman or the man or whoever that you want to be every day. For me, this was as simple as like when I was feeling uncomfortable in my body, I didn't wear a sports bra and leggings to the gym. I would put like a tank top or a t-shirt over it, and like I was kind of hiding my body because I felt uncomfortable. And there was just this one moment where I was like, snap out of it. Like, this was never you. This isn't who you want to be. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with, again, being more modest and wearing a tank top or a t-shirt to the gym. I still do that sometimes just because there's creepy guys, but I wasn't doing it for that purpose. I was doing it because I was hiding my body, and I'm like, show up as if you're already her. Even if you don't feel comfortable yet, show up as if you're already her. Buy the bikini, buy the cute gym set. And it might take you a little bit, make it take you a couple months to like really feel confident to like wear that out. But even if you just put it on and you walk around the house, or like you go for a walk around the neighborhood and you have like a zip hoodie and you unzip it, like obviously I'm not telling you guys you need to like undress or like be dressed scandalous to the gym in order to feel confident. But this is just one small example that like meant something to me. So like waking up as her, as in building this healthy morning routine, finding the steps, finding the system that you want to do in order to achieve your results, and just doing it. Just being like, okay, you know, I haven't achieved this yet, but this is how I'm going to get there, and I'm just going to pretend that I already have done it. And like, what would be the way that I would assume that somebody who's already got what I want would be doing? Like, if you really want to, you know, become stronger in the gym and be this like fit, healthy gym girly, you might get yourself a really cute water bottle. You might get a really cute workout outfit like one of the gym girlies. You might make yourself a really great workout plan and write everything out and keep track of how much weight you're doing every single week, or how many miles you ran last week compared to this week. And you might make yourself a protein-filled breakfast afterwards and make sure you're drinking your water and doing your skincare afterwards. And all of these things that you would assume that this person would be doing, just do them. It's that simple to just show up as that person, because that person is you. It's already inside of you. You know everything you should be doing, you know? And yeah, you don't have to do it all at once, but it's like, just try to already envision yourself as that person, because there's absolutely nothing stopping you from becoming that person besides yourself. So, on that cheesy note, I love you guys all so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun filming it. I am off to make my third coffee of the day. Honestly, one of the things in this list should have been limiting caffeine, but listen. We gotta do one thing at a time. We're gonna limit caffeine, but like, I went from like 5 cups of coffee to 3, so that's already good. You know what I'm saying? Baby steps, okay? So, I love you guys all so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.